So before I saw this movie, I saw it had a 34% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, ain't no way. These people are bugging. I heard nothing but great things about this movie. But then after I watched the movie, I was just like, while I don't agree with the 34%, I kind of get it. And welcome to my Safe Gayven, everybody. Thank you guys so much for clicking on another video and joining me here on the ever-expanding Black Gay Comic Geek channel. But if this is your first time checking out my channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek. I always say the things that I love to talk about here on the channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the four. So I mostly like to talk about fantasy, horror, sci-fi, superheroes, action, comic book movies, and of course, black representation and queer representation. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you enjoy the videos, if you enjoy the reviews, the topics, the discussions, you think representation matters, do me a favor, help me grow my channel. Help me get to 12,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. And also, hopefully you watch to the end of the video for the watch time. Like, share, comment, interact on this video and every video that I post for the all gay rhythm. Now, with that said, guys, we are here to talk about the movie Him, directed by Justin Tipping. And I got to get this out the way because a lot of people keep confusing because they keep saying, because Jordan Peele did produce the movie, he is the bigger name, so they say Jordan Peele's Him. Jordan Peele did not write this movie. He did not direct this movie. He just put his name on it, his stamp of approval. He produced the movie, but it was written and directed by Justin Tipping. So with that said, the movie is officially out today. I mean, technically all movies come out on Thursdays now. So yesterday I saw the movie in theaters. I didn't get an early screening. This is still going to be a non-spoiler review since it's just really out this weekend. So I'm going to give my non-spoiler thoughts for this movie. But with that said, it's starring Marlon Wayans. Everybody loves Marlon Wayans. And Tyreek, what's his name? Tyreek Withers, who, if you saw the reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer, which I did review, he's one of the four, the main characters in I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot. And so, yeah, let's talk non-spoilers. The synopsis for Him is Cameron Cade was destined for football glory until an attack by an obsessed fan threatened to end his career before it began. Just when hope fades, his idol, legendary quarterback Isaiah White invites him to train at his private compound. But what starts as an opportunity of a lifetime soon twists into something far more dangerous, as Cam discovers the true cost of chasing greatness. I should have read that in the movie voice, as Cam discovers the true cost of chasing greatness. But yeah, this movie is rated R. It's labeled as a horror movie, a suspense movie, thriller, and everything like that. There's definitely some blood, sex, gore, and magic in this movie. So with that said, let's get into the movie of Him. Like I mentioned in the very intro of the video, where I was just like, I heard nothing but good things about this movie. And then I saw it was labeled at like 34%. I was like, ain't no way it's at like a 34%. I thought maybe people were just upset. Because one thing I will say about this movie does heavily criticize the NFL and football. Like, you think about all the documentaries that have come out about the dangers of football and what it does to the brain, and how when people play football, like, even though they're in helmets and things like that, they're still smashing their skulls against each other. And humans are not rams. We were not designed, evolution did not design us to be smashing our skulls and our bodies. Like, when people tackle each other, they hit each other hard. The human body was not designed for that. No matter how much padding and equipment and everything that you put on, it still is going to take its toll on people playing football. And so I thought because of that, I was like, oh, people are not liking that because maybe it criticized football. And it definitely does do that. It's more heavy on the social commentary against being against like football, and more specifically the NFL, which, love football or hate football, you can't deny the damage that it does to the human body. But it's never going to go away. Football is a multi-billion-dollar industry, specifically here in America. It's a very American sport. No matter how many studies come out, nothing's ever going to happen with that. But yeah, so with that said, like, this movie was just all over the place for me. Like, I'm going to just release my load right now. Like, with that said though, I didn't dislike this movie, but after the movie was over and the credits started rolling, I literally said to myself, because I went by myself, I was like, I didn't hate the movie, but also I don't know if I liked the movie. Now, with that said, the movie was definitely very interesting. And the shots, some of the shots that they did, and ultimately the premise, like the story premise that they were trying to tell, the storyline was very interesting. But ultimately, I feel like it was a great premise, but the execution was a little flawed. Like, this movie was hella disjointed for me in terms of like the narrative structure, because there were things that happened in this movie or happened throughout the movie that I was just like, wait, what is this? Or what does this have to do with what's happening? Or why is that not coming back up? This thing that happened? Or what the hell? Like, what? Where did this come from? Is this not going to be addressed? Like, what is going on? Like, there was a lot of that. What was this? And then when you got to the end of the movie, you're just like, where did this come from? Like, what? There was no reference to that, like, throughout the whole movie. Like, how did we get here? Like, overall, this movie was just very stylized. Very stylized. Like, there were a lot of strange, like, and it also what made the movie interesting, because there was a lot of weird camera angles and moments and things like that that made it interesting. But like, because certain things about the story was just so like disjointed and the execution was so off, you're just like, in many ways, I kind of left the movie just like, okay, what was this movie really about? Because ultimately, like, yes, this movie and the premise of the movie is like, how far are you willing to go and how much are you willing to sacrifice to achieve your dreams? How much is too far in terms of like achieving your dreams? Is there such thing as too far? How much of your overall desire to want to make it, achieve your goals, negatively impacts your life as just a general human being, your health, your emotional state, your mental state, your spiritual state, and all of that stuff? Like, that seems like that is what this movie was trying to pose to you and question. And it did. It definitely did. But again, because obviously there's no spoilers, but it was just like, again, this movie was just all over the place for me. But with that said, the performances from Tyreek Withers, and more specifically Marlon Wayans, like, not obviously, because most people probably don't realize this, but if you watch a lot of like Oscars and Golden Globes, like, not so much the Golden Globes, but the Oscars really don't like to acknowledge genre films. And by genre films, I mean like fantasy, sci-fi, supernatural horror type of films. But the performance from Marlon Wayans in this movie, I feel like definitely needs to be recognized. He definitely needs to be propped up after this movie. Like, not to say Marlon Wayans hasn't done other dramatic roles, but this is like one of the latest, probably like the latest dramatic role that I've seen him in, and really one of his best dramatic, non-comedic roles. And so he definitely needs to get some level of recognition. Maybe not an Oscar nomination, but something needs to come of this movie in terms of his performance as Isaiah White. He was unhinged. He was funny. He was intimidating. He was inspiring. He was all of that at the same time. So great performance and chemistry between him and Tyreek Withers. And funny enough, we also got a Grindr reference in this movie. So I was like, oh wait, Grindr. And speaking of Grindr, we got some booty up in here, because like there was a moment where we got to see Tyreek Withers stripped to his full Monty. Of course, with movies, you never see the front. With God, they always show the back, but you never see the front. And if you saw it, I was about to say Interview with the Vampire. Like, this show is like so ingrained, and I'm so obsessed with this show. I'm always thinking about Interview with the Vampire, but not Interview with the Vampire. I Know What You Did Last Summer, the reboot. You saw Tyreek. He got body. He was shirtless a lot, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. He was shirtless a lot in this movie as well, and I appreciate that, because thank you, because, I mean, not gonna lie, Tyreek, he can get it. In that sense, he is him. Can I actually be with him? If only for one night. And the crazy thing is, this movie is not that long. It's only like an hour and 30 minutes. And even still, there were certain parts that I was confused. I was like, I know for a fact, I came to the movie before when the trailers were still playing. So it's not like I got to the movie late, but it still felt like I missed something with regards to the movie, especially like when the movie actually like starts, when the inciting incident happens before, Tyreek Withers' character gets to meet Marlon Wayans' character. The things that, like, when that thing happened, it like happened out of the blue, and it was just like weird. And then they don't go back and explain what that was. And I was just like, there was a lot of that throughout this movie. And I was just like, I don't know if I'm vibing. Again, I didn't hate the movie after I saw it, But like I said, after it ended, I was just like, I don't know if I particularly liked it. And so that's really all I can say about this movie without getting too much into spoilers. Again, I still thought it was interesting. There were some good intentions and some good themes and premises and messaging behind the show, behind this movie. But yeah, for me, it was just overall, it was flawed. Like I said, so I don't agree with the 34% on Rotten Tomatoes. I would definitely rate it a little bit higher because I was interested, but I kind of get it, especially when you get to the end, because you're either going to love the ending or you're gonna hate the ending. Me, I guess I say you're either gonna love it or hate it. I didn't love it or hate it. I was just like, what the fuck? Just like I said before, I'm like, wait a minute. How did we get here? 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 It's like he wanted to end on like some shock value moment. For the ending that we got in this movie, I don't think they earned that ending. There was no build up for that moment. So yeah, I was just like, okay. So yeah, so that's how I feel about him. I was just like, okay, I saw it. I appreciate it. I'm glad they, Justin Tipping, he tried to do something new. And so he took a huge swing. So I appreciate him for that. But yeah, and granted, I don't know all his other work. I know he directed an episode of Dear White People, the show. But I see potential in him, but especially in his directing, I see potential in him. But yeah, like, this is not a movie I would watch again. I would recommend people see the movie because, like I said, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. But I would give this movie a passable, more or less. It was something to do. Basically, that's my rating for this movie. It was something to do. So with that said, have you guys gone to the theater yet to see him? What did you think about it? Like I said, there's friends of mine that said they loved this movie. They really enjoyed this movie. And even when they were talking about it, after I left the theater, I was just like, damn, am I bugging? Like, again, I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. It was something to do. So maybe you feel the same way I do. Maybe you feel differently. Regardless of what your thought is, what your thoughts are, let me know in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, interact on this video for the All Gay Rhythm. This is one of your first time checking out one of my videos. Hopefully you check out the other videos on my channel. You like what you see, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on every single video. Tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow, and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.